Hello everyone, welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. My name is Gilbert, also known as the Red Dragon. I think this would be part 8 of my Tydirium Shuttle. Let me get everything together here, put my baby away here, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Hang tight, brothers, I'll be right back. Alright, this is where we're at now. I'm in the process of working on the channels in here. Give me a second. Right in here. Adding some filler in there. Because as you can see, there's just nothing there, guys. I mean, it's just dead. So this is where... Oh, those are the guns. I showed you that in the last video. And added some little greeblies there. Dress them up. You know, they still need to be positioned. So, you know, they're out of scale, out of whack at the moment. I don't want to manipulate them too much. I didn't want to play with them that much yesterday because I didn't want to, you know, these things here. There you go. Got them all straight. I sanded this down a little bit because it just looked a little too high. Here, let me see if I can get one of those lights to come off. There you go. Yeah, anyway. So, as you can see, I added some little pieces of styrene stock in there. Some bigger, .80 I think it is, tubing. If you get rod, yeah, some .80 rod. Some 3/64 rod, all up in here, and I made this all the way around. You know, I've seen some guys do some beautiful work where they've taken like a zip tie. You know, because you got those ridges in there. They laid them in there and they put this on there. You know, that's all beautiful. But, you know, that's beyond me right now. So I just wanted to dress it up a little bit to give it some structure in there. And that's what I did. I think I succeeded in doing that. You know, it was I bent it around there rather than having a hard edge there. Came around, did the same thing there. So we got that all the way around. That's this wing. So what I'm doing now is working on this wing, and then I'll be working on the top wing, you know, the top part. So, and the body. So let me cut all this up. I'm going to cut the pieces, and I'm going to show you guys what I did step by step. So hang tight, I'll be right back. Alright, what I got here is I'm cutting these little pieces out of some square stock. Now that piece is going to sit right inside here. So this is the very first one. So to establish that one, I'm going to use some heavy cement. You don't have to do it. It's just what I do. I just run it along the brush there, like so. And then I just drop it right in there. Now I have the other one sitting off to the side here, and I'm using that as a template to make sure that they all line up, that my little pieces are not out of scale. You want them at least to match a little bit. You're never going to get them 100%, but you want them to at least match up. Now I marked off, I don't know if you can see that little mark there. And then I'll go in here and cut that piece. And with the small little microfile, get it, you know, you don't want to overdo it. And then I take a little dab of this and just cut on one corner and just drop it right in there. Trying to center it. Now, and that's as far as I'll use the heavy cement. Just to get there right in there and line it up a little bit. Okay. Close this up with my butterfingers. I'll end up losing it all over. And now I have pieces that I've already pre-cut. Right? And I want to make sure I got the right ones, because with my luck, the way I cut them, yeah, that's it. I got them all in order. So now we start putting them in. I'll do a couple of these and then I'll go off camera and we'll come back in a second here. But I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. So now what I'll just take this, drop it in there, line them up, take the tester's glue and then shoot it right in there. Now the tester's glue, in my opinion, works just as well as Tamiya. The only difference is, and at least in my experience, is that the tester's glue doesn't dry as fast as the Tamiya. So it gives you a little time to work with it. So they don't come with that nifty little, with that. So I take it out of its bottle and I pour it into an empty Tamiya bottle. And that's what I use. Alright guys, I'm going to run this down the channel. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, both wings are done. Excuse me. Raise that up a little bit more. That's what we got. Alright, see that? All the way around. Now that took a long time, guys. It doesn't look like much, but it took a long time. And then here's the other one. Goes all the way around. Now what I'm gonna do is this right here, guys. You see that? I have to add that right there. That in there. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna go and work on the top wing. Got an idea for that. Be right back. Alright. These are the two top parts for the shuttle, the top wings. If you notice there, right here, there's a lot of flash in there, and a pretty big tab here and here. Here, where they were attached to the sprues, same thing. There's one here, same on the other one, the other way. I'm going to have to carefully cut this out, because if you don't, I mean, that styrene is pretty thick, guys. I mean, real thick. Let me cut this out and I'll be back in a second. Alright. Here, let me show you what I'm doing here. You see that? That's sprue or that flash in there. I mean, it's real thick. So, I'm trying to cut it out without ruining any of the... See, that's going to be really hard to get that out of there. Well, it's got to take your time. Be real careful when you. I mean, that's in there really, really thick. So, I'm just carefully now. Let me see if I can show you guys. Just carefully carving that out of there. There, that's one. You guys ever get this kit? I mean, it's a beautiful kit. There's just an awful lot of flash in it. See, you'll see it in the back here. Use a sharp knife, guys. See that? Let me get a heavier knife. I'll be back in a minute. Here we go. I'm going to try... That's gonna, yeah, that's gonna take some sanding there. So all I want to do is just very lightly run that over, very carefully, and smooth that down. I'll go in there with some sandpaper. And then here we go again here with this side. So all I want to do is, yeah, see that? That's in there good. You have to punch that out of there without causing. Yeah, there's some pretty thick styrene in there, guys. There. Just trying to get this out of there so I can cut that little tab that's in there out. And that tab there, I mean, it's, you can see it right there, see? Oh. Ah. I'm just cutting it off bit by bit so I don't take a big chunk. And there it is. Let me clean that up and I'll be right back. Alright, and what I'm doing is just lightly running the file very carefully in there. Just smooth that down. Now I'll go in the back side of it and just run some sandpaper through it. This stuff is pretty thick, man. Look at that. See the thickness? You don't make them like this anymore. Yeah, see there's a, see that right there? And there's one on the bottom. I don't want to take off too much. I just want to smooth that down. So you can't see that burr anymore. Figured I'd put it up against my shirt and you guys would be able to see what I'm doing there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning this up off camera. I'll be back in a minute. Now along the bottom here there's an edge. So I'll just run my hobby knife, just very lightly take that edge off. I have two different ones, one with different blades, smaller blade, heavier blade. I use this one here for this kind of work. It's not necessary, but it's what I do. Alright, now here we go, little by little, to try to get this piece out. And because it's such a big ugly piece there, I cut it in two pieces so I could snip it. And then the same here, this is just flash, so just really carefully, and it's thick, so and there. Then I'll run my knife through it. You can see right now, let me see if I can get that back a little bit. You can see that ridge right there. It doesn't belong there. That's got to come out. So let me see if I can get it out of there. Because that's not going to allow it's not going to give me a flush fit. So that looks like I'm going to need a file on that. Just little by little. I don't want to take too much off. It'll be all uneven then. Take a little sanding sponge. Now I got to come in with this. Just make sure quick even passes. Now you won't see this, but I want it to fit flush. And there it is. It's gone. It's right across there. See it? It's gone. Alright, let me do the other ones. I'll be right back. Alright, here's a little something I want to show you guys. You see that? Right there. That's molded into the plastic. It's a big blob of booger, you know, right on there. And it sits pretty high. I spent about 20 minutes trying to sand that out. Here's the one with it in there, with the big booger in there. Now you can barely notice it, but it's still there. But it's smooth to the touch. Probably hit this one more time, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that out. That's a pretty nasty defect in there. Be back and I'll show you what happens. I don't think I'm going to get it all the way out, hopefully. So I'm going to use some 320 here. I'll do it right here with you guys. Let's see if I can get that. I won't even try with no Tamiya because you know what I think about that sandpaper. Yeah, let me bring that down just a little bit. Yeah. Hey, that's a pretty big step there, guys. I mean, it's like a big blob of liquid injection that got on there. And man, that's going to be ugly. So here I'm trying to sand it out. It's getting there, but it's going to take a little bit. I don't want to go in there with a knife and start scraping at it. So we'll just slowly sand at it. I gotta be careful not to go too low. Now these little pieces are what's sitting there. So they're going to be visible, very visible. There's some pin marks on the injection pin marks there, and on the back there. But I'm not too concerned about those because you won't see those. But it's right here where this is going to be facing out, and this looks like some hot plastic got on there and just dripped right on there. Alright, and then I'll take the sponge, left side first. It's getting there, guys. I'll show you in a second. This one went a little easier. Get the fine end now. Here we go again. Just doesn't want to stay in my hands. Alright. I think I got it. Here we go. There it is. It's gone. Man, that thing was a... This one was easier than the other one. I'll be right back. Alright. Well, we're done for the night. I gotta get up early, work on Mama's car. But she's starting to get there. The other problem I'm gonna run into is right here. As you can see, it's warped. So, I gotta bring it down like that. Now, hopefully, when I glue it together, it'll straighten it out. If not, I'll just have to take a heat gun from back here and just slowly work it so it'll get it back down there. So, once it's all done, I still got to work in here. But I want to get that diorama where these two guys are sitting together like this here. I'll put a little figure of Vader coming out of there, standing next to him. This kind of like on one side, this another one on the other side. And then I've got a few more of these that I want to make a diorama of them. But that's my little baby there too. That was a lot of that was scratch built. But that's where we're at now, guys. So I'm gonna sit this down for the night. I've learned a long time ago though, when you get tired, put stuff away, man, because then you start making your mistakes. So this is Gilbert, Red Dragon Model Works, saying, have a nice weekend, brothers. Ciao.